Selling products on Instagram. How do you do it? And once you've already started your page, how do you scale up? How do you get to a point where you can be able to engage properly with your customer and be able to let them know and close a sale online? Remember, selling on Instagram is slightly different than selling to someone face to face. Remember, selling on Instagram, you can only speak so much, right? You can only say so much. And when a customer has a question or something that's resisting them for buying it, you won't be able to pick it up because unfortunately, you're just a video, okay? So how do you sell to a customer on Instagram and be able to capture their feelings without feeling too sleazy, too salesy, too something? So the first part when you're actually communicating with people on Instagram is that you need to tell a story. You need to tell your story and be really genuine about it. You see, being genuine and vulnerable is a very, very powerful tool on Instagram because people, when they join Instagram, they follow you to see what you're about. It's like selling on a reality show. They follow you to see what you offer, what you're about, and they want to be almost trying to be you. Sorry for you that you're looking at this, you're like, no, I'm not trying to be you. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say that they're looking at your household and you through a window, and you need to create some form of representation of yourself and be able to market as you're doing it. So what are the first steps? One of the first steps of selling your products is to use your Instagram stories. Now, if you're afraid of using your Instagram stories, then it's something that you need to get over. Instagram stories is one of the most powerful sales tool that is available because you know that at least 10% of your followers are going to use that. Remember, Instagram stories doesn't force you to engage, it doesn't force you to double tap, it doesn't force you to do anything. All I can do is just look at you and no other expression. If I hate what I see, I just flip over and go to the next. If I like what I see, I just stay. It's only 15 seconds of speaking. So how can you capture a person in just 15 seconds? Now, I know you're just going to say, so listen, I don't have that many followers. It's not about the number of followers you have. It's about your ability to capture a person's attention and how do you do that. So in this instant, I'm going to be showing you how to capture attention. And if you're watching this far, then hopefully I managed to capture attention at some point during my postings on Instagram. First of all, you need to ask your customer the right questions. You need to give a customer questions that they can answer themselves, that you already know the answer to. For example, how many of you in this room and how many of you watching this right now want a better life for themselves? Don't you want a better car, a better house, to live a better life? If you're that person, please raise your hand. I'm dead sure on the other side that you do want a better life. You want something better of yourself. And that's how you capture attention. You ask a question that will go on to the other side that will be a definite yes. Everybody wants a better life. So it's a good idea to ask them if they do want it. And if what you're offering can give them a better life, how many of you out there want a better body? Would you want to lose a little bit of weight, be in bigger shape, maybe be a bit more fit? A lot of those people will respond with a positive yes, because a good chunk of people want to be better themselves. It's in human nature to always want to be better. So now that you've asked the customer the questions that they have a definite yes answer to, now you must know this line. Stories sell, facts tell. So you need to give a story. Give a background of how you started. Give a background about who you are. Give a background so that people can see you, that you're relatable. If you are selling weight loss, then you need to show your vulnerable side, where you started and where you are now, right? If you are selling Forex, then you need to show where you started and where you are right now. So being that vulnerable and giving that much information and telling the story. I'll give you an example. When I first started introducing people to Forex, I had to tell them about how I started as a trader. And my story is actually very typical. It doesn't have to be too soppy. It is just very typical. My story is that I woke up one day, I went to school and got good grades. And after getting good grades, I thought my good grades would get me a massive paycheck that could buy me an Aston Martin, and it never did. So I started telling my story in the sense that I woke up one day and got into the shower, and all I could think about was how could I actually make my life better? Because yes, I had gone to school, I had got good grades, and I've been saving money, but I was not at the point that I wanted to be. And frankly, when you go to school, they say, listen, when you finish school, you must go to school, get good grades, and then you'll have all the money in the world. And the worst part is that as soon as you do all of that, go to school, get a degree, all of that, you actually never actually get the money that they were promised all this time. The story is relatable. It is relatable to you and I because you might have gone to something very similar, and you might want to change your life, change your way that you do something. So you might decide, hey, listen, I want to also start trading so that I can also get to the level that you are at. And this is what a customer is looking for. They're looking for you to be relatable. They're looking for your story. And this is what that captures their attention. And while you've captured and told them your story, now this is the best time that you can drop your sell. When you drop your sell, you have to be swift and clear, not sleazy. Don't make too many promises that you're not able to keep, and make sure you give tons of free bonuses, free information, free things that you need. For example, I would then say, listen, I learned it this way, and I want to take the moment to teach you what I've learned, to teach you how I got to this space so that we can skip all the steps that could make you lose money. For example, I did the trend lines and I learned about the trend lines, and now I've moved forward from that. I don't use that as much as I did before. So you can join me right now and learn from me, and I can give you as a bonus signals that you can take and you can use to trade the market while you learn. There's an opportunity to learn and earn. So now that you've convinced your customer that what you have to offer, the customer will now be faced with questions that are saying, no, I can't take the product. Now they are literally on that page and that screen where they need to put in their card details and make payment. And this is where all the questions are coming, where it's like, will this thing work? Does this make sense? I mean, I don't trust this person. I just met this person online. So all of these questions are coming to the customer as it happens, and you need to make sure that you are addressing those questions. The questions are typically resistant questions, questions that are designed like on the mind because it's because of trust that this person has these questions. So you need to deal with the trust element. So how do you deal with the trust element? Now, why should I trust you about losing weight? I don't know that you were really fat. Oh, listen, you were not fat. You were actually just skinny and you just got more muscular. How do I know that what you're giving me is not just a trap? Hey, listen, you with the muscles, you are taking steroids. How do I know? So you need to answer those specific questions. The one way of doing it is to actually tell the person that I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking, oh my God, this is another one of those products that I buy online and I never get anything. And maybe you're right. Maybe this product is something that you've seen before. But the one thing I can guarantee you is that these are the steps I took that started me off right here from Cape Town in my own little 2-bedroom apartment to where I am right now, right? And these are the steps I took, and you need to instill that kind of trust in your customer. So when you are talking on Instagram and selling products on Instagram, you really need to be genuine. If you're not genuine, you will not make a sale. If you try to be too flashy or something that is too unreachable, yeah, you'll make money, but it eventually will catch up to you because your customers are not going to trust you anymore. Future customers won't trust you, and the better quality customers will always be able to filter out the bullshit. So be careful when you sell stuff. Don't oversell. Don't be too sleazy. Just be very genuine.